she shows that anything is possible. The special link with my own ambitions and self-vision was that she was quite short, and her name was Agnès, which is a French version of my name, Agnieszka. So immediately I felt the infinity with Agnès Varda.
I'm trying to make a movie.
But we really somehow became friends after European Film Academy awarded her in Riga with lifetime achievement. And since then, we've been meeting very often on different occasions of the festivals and so on. I met her in Berlin on occasion of her very last movie. I didn't know how sick she is, and she passed away, but she was like the force of life. It means till the end of her life, she was creative and she was curious. And curiosity was something which I think characterized her more than anything. Of course, she was talented, she had the point of view, she had the vision, she had the eye, the ear for the reality, for the inner reality of yourself, but she was, till the very end, she was curious. And I think it's one of the things which means for the film director, it's energy, and she had one till the end. It is patience. That I'm not sure, but yeah, she was patient. Making the documentary like Le Glaner et la Glanaise needs incredible patience, and she was curious. If somebody has to start with her films, two of them are great introduction to the several aspects of her cinema. It's Cleo from 5 to 7 and Le Glaner et la Glanaise. But me personally, I always advise, especially young women directors, to watch The Happiness. I advise my daughter to watch it when she started to be interested in the cinema, and several young female directors, and it always worked. It makes you believe that with very simple, minimalistic means, you can discover the totally new aspect of the reality, of the very intimate reality, of the reality of very simple people also. It is the story of the young couple. The woman is a tailor, and the man is a carpenter. They are a young, beautiful couple with two beautiful children. And when showing their everyday life, she did something which I haven't seen in the cinema before. She showed the woman who was sleeping without showing the naked breast. And it was not pornographic film, it was not erotic film, it was just everyday intimacy. I remember that it struck me that it's possible to enter somebody's life in such an intimate way and in such a simple thing. I don't know why, it's nothing special, but today. But in those days, it showed that the cinema can really enter everyday's life, not in the conceptual way, but in the veristic way of the most intimate reality. And I was not feminist in this time. I didn't know even that it exists. In communist Poland, it was like, something extremely exotic, the talk about the feminism. But it struck to me, I thought to myself, I remember, it's only women who can show the intimacy of the love of the couple in this way. I think that she had very dark moments in her life as a filmmaker, but also as a woman, as a wife also. And I wanted to know how she changed it to something creative, what was the method, how to, overcome this kind of the dark moments and obstacles and challenges and disappointments and betrayals. How she did turn it to something which made her so strong, so powerful. She was intellectual, but she never made the movies about intellectuals. It was about herself or about the people who are simple people she met or she wanted to meet or she created, and she put the light of pathos and originality on those like quiet, forgettable destinies. She made them special. Among the directors of French New Wave, to me, Agnès Varda is the strongest. She was the precursor of the Nouvelle Vague somehow, with the film, her first film, and it was this mix of the documentary and very intimate fiction. La Pointe Courte, yeah. So that is a very surprising fiction. It was like with the documentary background and with the real people of the little fishing town and the couple, two actors, among them Philippe Noiret. And the film was edited by Alain René, who was her friend.
Tu vois, c'est ici la Pointe Courte.
Tu m'en as parlé si souvent.
And it was totally surprising, but it didn't, commercially it didn't work, so she was unable to make another long feature film for a few years, for 5 years or 6 years. She was doing shorts, and after she came with Cleo. And I think personally that she was the only one which was really faithful to the spirit of the Nouvelle Vague. It means the search for the truth and the search for very personal changing vision of the world. One I like also a lot, it was Vagabond. It's the English title. The French title was Sans loi ni toi. And it is also extremely original film where, like, I think 20 point of views describe the life and death of the young homeless woman. And in the same time, you know, it's this kind of elegance of the structure, like in The Happiness or here, are in the same time so radical and so painful that this pain is coming, you know, in this kind of the masterful, elegant form, and in the same time it cuts you into the, you know, into the depths of your guts. Her films have been really very feminist. It means the female point of view and her point of view became prominent more with the time, and it's why it was so unique also, because there was very few points of view of this kind.
Mon corps, précieux et capricieux, l'azur de mes yeux, audacieux, cieux, des appâts tracés au compas qui ne trompent pas le monde qui veut mes faveurs, savoir la saveur de ma bouche en cœur.
One of her most touching films is the film she did in memory of her late husband, Jacques de Nantes. And that is also the wonderful homage to the cinema, to the French cinema, and to this special, elegant, but in the same time provocative version of the cinema they represented. Jacques Demy much more elegant and Agnès much more provocative. Every one of her films is like continuation, another chapter of the long film by Agnès. but in the same time, everyone is very unique and represents like the new point of view on the reality, which is modern, which is contemporary reality. She was always like very connected to the reality, but in the same time, probably the most personal director among the directors of the New Wave. It was always about something which touches her the deepest and which expresses her own vision of the things, and also reflects her state of mind and state of body in this very moment, because it is very visceral as well, her films. They are very physical, they are very sensual somehow. Yes, I think Agnès Varda was probably the greatest French filmmaker of her generation, to me at least.